Welcome back, folks.
What's up?
We are moving on the vitamin train.
Yep.
Today we got, so vitamin B, right? What do we know is it was originally discovered as factor B, and then they realized that there was really not just one. That's when they kind of discovered the complex. So we're going to roll through those. There's 8 total, right? So we're going to kick it off with vitamin B1.
Why not? Start at number 1.
Right? So what do you know about it?
Well, it's thiamine. Is that how you pronounce that? Thiamine?
I heard
Thiamine?
thiamine. I've always said thiamine. Thiamine, you know. Maybe that's...
Obviously one of the complexes, right? It helps primary purposes to help convert food into energy.
I got that too. Yep. Carbohydrate specifically. Carbohydrate metabolism.
So if you eat a lot of carbs, you're probably deficient in vitamin B1.
Yeah, well, because deficient implies that you're not getting enough of it. So I guess maybe the first thing is we don't synthesize this. We have to eat it. We don't store it very well.
Okay.
It quickly, it's kind of like vitamin C. It's out through the urine before.
Yeah, I read that it can be deficient in like 3 weeks. You can be completely out of it if you're...
Right, and because it's primary in carbohydrate metabolism, if you eat a ton of carbs, you're going to need a lot of vitamin B1 to metabolize them.
Right. So a lot of sugars, a lot of carbs.
Right. I got the same. So I did see it's found in most foods, which is good. Some foods at low levels where it's most concentrated. I got, I think it was pork, chicken. I feel like eggs were on there. Do you have any of that?
Yeah, I did. Liver, pork, eggs, fish, sunflower, squash, asparagus.
See, I saw liver, but again, I'm not gonna put the stuff that I have no intention of actually eating.
I did see some natural sources. There are some like different formulas, like little powders that you can get that are. You don't want to get the bees in synthetic forms if you can. So you want to try to get them in naturally occurring.
Yeah.
So I did see that. I know bees are good for your cellular function and growth and development. So it's pretty important. Yeah.
In fact, at a very high level, studying these different bees, don't get me wrong. I mean, vitamin C, critically important. Vitamin D, critically important. But these it was like, oh, these are like the real life every day. The stuff people deal with, and they have no idea that it might be tied to
it's a ton. Right. Let's go through a couple of them, right? Neuropathy, tingling. That's basically your tingling. Digestive system, constipation. GERD, that's your acid reflux. Vertigo. Excessive sweating, right? Exercise intolerance. So you just think you hate exercising? Might be B1, right?
Is that what I have?
Yeah, right? Sleep apnea, panic attacks, lactic acid buildup. So if you're muscle cramps, those types of things. Too much estrogen and stress.
Wow. All right. You hit pretty much, you hit more than I had. I do have, I don't know how to say it, edema. Chronic swelling. If you have chronic swelling, it's typically a sign that you are deficient. And I did get the whole memory problem thing.
Yeah, I did not get that. That's I did see that there's an effect that people with Alzheimer's typically have a B1 deficiency.
Okay, I didn't make note. It was actually a syndrome. It started with a K, like ketamodrine or ketanonsine or something like that. But they said at mildly, it causes memory issues. At a high level, the person can actually create their own memories, and people around them will be like, "You are lying."
I'm a billionaire,
and they're not lying. And I feel like I know someone in my life that this might apply to.
I know a few people in my life that this might apply to.
Yeah, you told me this. No, I never did.
B1 deficiency.
Right.
Take your B1 pill.
Right. So what kind of causes the deficiencies? I've got a few.
Go, shoot.
All right. So the first one I got was insufficient diet. And that can kind of take hold in a number of different ways. Too much alcohol, simply being malnourished, excessive fasting, starvation, anorexia. Basically, if you're not eating properly or
absorbing,
in the case of alcohol, a lot of times, especially if you're full-blown alcoholic, you maybe consume fluids instead of actually eating. And last I checked, there's no B1 in vodka.
There should be.
Right.
B1 infused vodka.
Right. I did see absorption issues, like if issues in your GI tract, maybe they said one of them was actually GI tract surgery. And I think we touched on that with another vitamin, right?
Yeah. So dissection or...
Right. And that when it's absorbed there and you take 15% of it out, it can create problems. Actually got increased utilization of vitamin B1. So we talked about eating too many carbs, right? So you're using it all up. Then the other is pregnancy, right? Supporting another life.
Right.
And cancer. Cancer can consume your vitamin B1 because what do we know about cancers?
Right.
They're largely based in carbohydrates. They're not based in.
No, but it's, almost cancers are almost viewed as viruses.
Right.
And viruses need sugars, and sugars help fuel everything. And then, so is that causation or coincidence or correlation?
Alpha, beta. I just threw science words at you.
Right? Is that real? Pre-diabetic and diabetics, again, you're pre-diabetic, you probably have a certain lifestyle that you lived before. Lots of carbs, lots of sugars. Man, this was a big one, right? I mean, it's just...
Well, I did have one other thing. So there's the increased utilization. There's also increased losses. And it kind of ties back to like the anorexia but chronic vomiting, diarrhea, dialysis will take it out of you. So kind of going back to renal issues and kidney disease and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So,
gosh, man, when you start to just look at the body systems, right? I mean, it can easily be a snowball effect if you go and do one or two or three things that are just really bad for you.
Right. And the Bucks were on yesterday, and I had cold beer. And now I'm probably B1 deficient.
Yes, you are.
So, no, it was, again, the real life implications of
poor choices,
kind of what it affects and the westernized lifestyle, right? The fast foods, the boxed foods, and again, we can get it naturally if we kind of alter some of our food choices.
Yep.
So
good job, man. I like it.
That's about all I got.
I think we covered it.
You good? Vitamin B1. Now you're an expert. Not really.
Yep.
So questions, comments, concerns, hit us at snackcast@yes.fit.
Stay moving.
See ya.